Have you ever noticed someone who smiles at you, but you sense something deeper, something that doesn't sit right? A friend, a colleague, or even a family member who claps for your success, but their applause feels hollow. Jealousy is a silent enemy, lurking beneath the surface, disguised as politeness or even fake kindness. But what if I told you that spotting jealousy could save you from hidden sabotage and emotional betrayal? In this video, we're diving into the 7 hidden signs someone is secretly jealous of you, and trust me, once you know these signs, you'll start seeing through people like never before. So, hit that like button and subscribe for more eye-opening content that helps you take charge of your life. 1. Backhanded compliments. Have you ever received a compliment that left you feeling uneasy? Maybe someone said, "Wow, you're so lucky to get that promotion." Not everyone can charm their way to the top. At first, it sounds like praise, something positive, even supportive. But then, as the words sink in, you realize there's a sting hidden beneath them. That wasn't just a compliment. It was a subtle jab at your abilities, wrapped in a smile. This is what we call a backhanded compliment, and it's one of the most common weapons of jealousy. Why is this so powerful? Because it's designed to throw you off balance. It's not just an insult, it's an insult hiding in plain sight. And the person giving it? They want you to question yourself. They want you to wonder, am I really that good, or was it just luck? Did I truly earn my success, or was it something less? Here's the thing. A backhanded compliment is never accidental. It's calculated. It's meant to make you second-guess yourself, to dull the shine of your accomplishments, and to shift the spotlight away from your success. The jealous person can't openly criticize you. It would expose their insecurities. So instead they lace their envy with fake praise, hoping it'll fly under the radar. Let's take another example. Imagine you just bought a new car, something you worked hard for, something you're proud of, and someone says, "Wow, that's a nice car. I could never be comfortable with those monthly payments though." Sounds innocent, right? But look closer. They're not celebrating your achievement. They're trying to downplay it, to make it seem like your success is a burden or a mistake. And here's why this is so dangerous. Backhanded compliments mess with your confidence. Over time, they can chip away at your self-belief. You start to question if you deserve the good things in your life. And that's exactly what the jealous person wants. They want you to feel small, because deep down, your success makes them feel small. But let me tell you something. Their backhanded compliments are a reflection of their insecurities, not your abilities. When someone can't genuinely celebrate your success, it says far more about them than it ever could about you. Remember, no one throws shade on what they don't envy. So, the next time someone gives you a compliment that feels just a little too sharp, pause for a moment. Look beyond the words. And instead of letting it bring you down, let it remind you of this. You're doing something right. You've achieved something worth envying, and that's their problem, not yours. 2. Overemphasizing your flaws. Imagine this. You've just achieved something significant. Maybe you've landed your dream job, delivered a stellar presentation, or even won an award. You're feeling proud, accomplished, and ready to celebrate. Then someone comes along, and instead of congratulating you, they say something like, "Well, that's great, but did you notice how messy your speech was? You could have done better." At that moment, the air changes. What should have been a joyful memory suddenly feels tainted. Their words make you shift your focus from what you've achieved to what you supposedly did wrong. And here's the thing, you start doubting yourself. Was your success not good enough? Should you have done more? This is a classic tactic of jealousy, overemphasizing your flaws to overshadow your victories. It's subtle but deliberate. People who are jealous of you don't want to celebrate your success because, deep down, It reminds them of what they haven't achieved. So, they pick apart your moment of triumph, hoping to shrink it down to something unremarkable. Here's why this is so damaging. Success isn't just about reaching a goal, it's also about the confidence it gives you. And jealous people, they know this. They know that by nitpicking your flaws, they can chip away at that confidence. They can make you feel smaller, less deserving, less proud of what you've accomplished. Let me give you another example. Say you've just launched your own business. Instead of saying, "Congratulations, that's an amazing step forward," they'll say something like, "Starting a business is great, but the market's so tough these days. Are you sure you'll make it?" They aren't offering constructive criticism. They're planting seeds of doubt. And it doesn't stop there. Jealous people are relentless in finding faults because your achievements are a mirror reflecting their insecurities. Every time you rise, they're forced to confront their own feelings of inadequacy. So they'll focus on what you didn't do, what you could have done better, or what they think went wrong, all to downplay your success and make themselves feel better. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Your flaws don't define your success. Perfection isn't a requirement for achievement. You can deliver a messy speech and still win an award. You can make mistakes and still build a thriving business. Your imperfections are part of your journey, not a reason to diminish your accomplishments. So, the next time someone tries to overshadow your victory by overemphasizing your flaws, take a deep breath, look them in the eye, and remember this. Their words are a reflection of their jealousy, not your worth. Don't let their insecurities steal your moment. Celebrate your wins, every single one of them, because you've earned them, flaws and all. 3. Constant comparison. Picture this. You're sitting with a friend or coworker, excited to share some good news. Maybe you finally got that long-awaited promotion, nailed a big project, or accomplished a personal goal. You're glowing, expecting a genuine, "Wow, that's amazing." Instead, their response is, "Oh, that's nice. Did I tell you I just booked a luxury vacation?" At first, it might seem harmless, just casual conversation. But then you notice a pattern. Every time you achieve something or share your success, they immediately redirect the focus back to themselves. Your wins aren't celebrated, they're matched or, worse, overshadowed. This is constant comparison, and it's a hallmark of jealousy. What's really happening here? It's not just a random coincidence. When someone constantly compares themselves to you, it's because your achievements make them feel insecure. Your success becomes a reminder of what they think they lack. Instead of cheering for you, they feel the need to level the playing field, even if it means turning your moment into a competition. Let's break it down. Say you mention you're starting a fitness journey and lost a few pounds. Instead of supporting you, they respond, "That's great, but I've been hitting the gym every day and just ran a marathon." Or you share that you're planning to buy your first home, and they say, "Oh, I just renovated mine. It's practically a mansion now." These comments aren't about connecting with you, they're about outdoing you. Here's why this behavior is so toxic. It diminishes the joy of your achievements. You start to feel like your milestones aren't worth celebrating because someone else always seems to have done something better. Over time, this constant competition can erode your confidence and make you hesitant to share your successes at all. But let me tell you something important. You don't have to play their game. Constant comparison is their problem, not yours. Their need to compete stems from their insecurities, not your worth. They're threatened by your progress, but that doesn't mean you should dim your light to make them comfortable. Instead, recognize this behavior for what it is, a sign of jealousy. When someone can't genuinely celebrate your wins and always tries to one-up you, they're revealing their own feelings of inadequacy. They're not just comparing themselves to you, They're measuring their self-worth against your achievements. And here's the kicker. True success isn't about outshining others. It's about growth, fulfillment, and staying true to your own journey. So when someone tries to turn your story into a competition, don't let it get to you. Celebrate your victories anyway. Share your joy with people who truly support you. And most importantly, remember this. Your success doesn't need to be validated by anyone else. It's yours, and it's worth celebrating. So, the next time someone responds to your achievement with a "me too" or a "but I did this," smile politely. And in your mind, remind yourself, you're winning in ways they can't even understand. Keep moving forward. The only comparison that matters is the one between who you are today and who you were yesterday. 4. Excluding you from their wins. Have you ever noticed someone who seems to go quiet when things are going well for them? They just got a promotion, landed a big opportunity, or achieved something they've been working toward, yet you only find out about it from someone else, or much later in passing. They never shared their excitement with you. Why? Because jealousy doesn't always look like outright criticism or competition. Sometimes it looks like exclusion. When someone is jealous of you, even their victories can feel like a threat. They see your success as a constant reminder of what they perceive to be their shortcomings. So when they achieve something significant, they fear that sharing it with you might invite comparisons they think they can't win. Instead of celebrating with you, they grow distant, keeping their wins to themselves. Imagine this scenario. A co-worker you've always supported just got recognized for a big project. You hear whispers about their success in the office, but they never mention it to you directly. You congratulate them and they brush it off, saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal." But deep down, you know it is. They didn't share it because your presence, your achievements, makes them feel smaller, even in their moment of triumph. This behavior can feel confusing and hurtful. After all, isn't friendship or camaraderie about supporting each other through both the highs and lows? But for someone who's jealous, your support is a double-edged sword. On one hand, they crave your validation. On the other, they resent the fact that your successes seem to shine brighter than theirs. Here's the dangerous part. This exclusion isn't just about their insecurity, it's about creating distance. They don't want to let you in because doing so might mean acknowledging your value in their life. Their silence becomes a shield, a way to protect themselves from feeling inferior. Let me give you another example. Say a close friend just got engaged. You notice they've shared the news with others, but when you meet, they casually mention it as if it's no big deal. Or worse, they don't mention it at all. Why? Because they might fear that your own milestones, your career growth, your relationships, your personal successes will somehow overshadow their happiness. But here's what they don't realize. True connection thrives on mutual celebration, not competition. Excluding you from their wins doesn't make their achievements bigger. It makes them feel smaller, lonelier, and more disconnected. Now, here's what you need to remember. Their exclusion says more about them than it does about you. It's not a reflection of your worth or your ability to support others. It's a sign of their struggle to embrace their own success in the presence of yours. So, how do you handle it? First, don't take it personally. Their jealousy is their battle, not yours. Second, continue to be gracious. Congratulate them when you find out about their achievements, even if they tried to keep you in the dark. And finally, recognize that you don't need their validation to celebrate your own wins. Jealousy is a complex emotion, but it doesn't have to define your relationships. Surround yourself with people who can genuinely celebrate your victories just as you celebrate theirs. And remember, when someone excludes you from their happiness, it's their loss, not yours. You're still shining, whether they acknowledge it or not. 5. Excessive criticism, disguised as advice. Have you ever shared an idea, a goal, or a dream with someone expecting encouragement, but instead you were met with a long list of reasons why it might fail? Maybe you told someone you were starting a new business and they said, "Well, most businesses fail in the first year. Are you sure you're ready for that kind of stress?" Or perhaps you mentioned a career change and they responded, "That industry's so competitive, you might not make it." At first, it sounds like they're just trying to be realistic, maybe even helpful. But when you take a closer look, you realize their words are not building you up. They're breaking you down. This is excessive criticism disguised as advice, and it's one of the most toxic ways jealousy shows itself. Why do they do this? Because jealousy makes people uncomfortable with your potential. When you dare to dream big or take bold steps, it reminds them of the risks they're too afraid to take or the goals they've given up on. Instead of supporting you, they feel the need to drag you back down to their level, and they do it under the guise of helping you. Here's the thing about this kind of criticism. It's not constructive. True constructive feedback focuses on helping you improve while still encouraging you. But this is a calculated attempt to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. It's designed to make you question yourself, to make you hesitate, and ultimately to make you give up. Let me give you an example. Imagine you tell a friend you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Instead of saying, "That's awesome, what's your plan?" they respond with, "You know, the internet is oversaturated. It's really hard to grow an audience these days. Plus, you'll need a lot of expensive equipment." Notice how their words don't offer solutions or encouragement. They're only focused on the obstacles, magnifying them to the point where you start to doubt your ability to even begin. Here's another example. Say you've started a new fitness journey. Instead of supporting you, someone says, "Are you sure you're doing it right? You might hurt yourself. I've seen people waste money on this kind of thing." Again, the criticism isn't about helping you, it's about subtly undermining your confidence. Why does this feel so extreme? Because it's not just about the words, they're attacking your belief in yourself. And the worst part, they disguise it as honesty, making it harder to call them out. They'll say things like, "I'm just trying to be realistic," or "I'm telling you this for your own good." But the truth is, their jealousy is driving them to hold you back. And here's why this is dangerous. Repeated exposure to this kind of advice can erode your self-esteem over time. You start internalizing their doubts, thinking, "Maybe they're right, maybe I'm not cut out for this." That's exactly what they want, to see you give up so they no longer feel threatened by your ambition. But let me tell you something, their words are not the truth. Just because they can't see your potential doesn't mean it's not there. Their criticism is a reflection of their own insecurities, not your abilities. People who genuinely want to help you will point out areas for improvement, yes, but they'll do it in a way that uplifts you, not tears you apart. So, how do you deal with this? First, recognize it for what it is, jealousy in disguise. Second, protect your dreams. You don't have to share your plans with people who can't genuinely support you. And third, trust yourself. No one knows your potential better than you. Remember this, criticism is cheap, but action is priceless. While they sit on the sidelines finding faults, you're out there making moves, taking risks, and building something incredible. Don't let their jealousy stop you. Keep going, because every step forward is a step closer to proving them wrong. Not that you need to. Your success will speak for itself. 6. Copying you, but denying it. Have you ever noticed someone who seems to suddenly develop the same interests, style, or habits as you, almost like a mirror reflection of your life? Maybe you start a new fitness routine, and before you know it, they're posting about their own workout journey. Or you take up a creative hobby like painting, and suddenly they're an artist too. At first it might feel flattering, even coincidental, but then it starts to feel calculated. This is one of the most subtle yet telling signs of jealousy, copying you but denying it. Jealous people often find themselves drawn to what makes you stand out. They see your achievements, your unique style, or your work ethic, and instead of appreciating it, they want to replicate it. Why? Because deep down, they feel that if they can imitate what makes you successful or admirable, they can compete with you, or even outshine you. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you've recently revamped your wardrobe, adopting a unique sense of style. Not long after, someone in your circle starts dressing similarly. You think, okay, maybe it's just a coincidence. But then it goes further. You start a new diet or fitness plan, and suddenly they're all over social media talking about how they're doing the same. They even start using phrases you commonly say, or tackling projects that resemble yours. It doesn't stop there. When you bring it up, gently, maybe even jokingly, they completely deny it. What? No, I've always liked this. Or, I'm not copying you, I just happen to like the same things. They'll never admit that their inspiration comes from watching you. Instead, they'll act like their actions are entirely independent of you. Here's why this behavior is so toxic. It's not just about imitation, it's about competition. Jealous people don't copy you to celebrate you, they copy you to compete with you. They want to take what makes you special and claim it for themselves, hoping it will boost their own image or achievements. And while imitation might seem harmless at first, over time, it can start to feel invasive. Your unique ideas, your hard-earned successes, even your personality become things they try to mimic. It's as if they're trying to erase what sets you apart, taking credit for the very things you've worked so hard to build. But let me tell you something, a copy will never outshine the original. No matter how much someone tries to imitate you, they can't replicate your authenticity, your hard work, or the unique spark that makes you, you. What they don't realize is that copying can only take them so far. Without originality, they'll always fall short. Now, let's talk about how to handle this. First, don't let their behavior discourage you. If anything, their imitation is proof that you're doing something worth noticing. Second, protect your boundaries. If you feel like they're encroaching too much, it's okay to distance yourself or limit what you share with them. And third, keep innovating. While they're busy copying your last move, you'll already be on to the next. Remember this, jealousy is admiration in disguise, but without the courage to admit it. They may try to compete by copying, but at the end of the day, you're the one they're trying to be. Keep being authentic, keep being original, and let them struggle to keep up. After all, while they're stuck chasing your shadow, you're out there creating something they can't replicate, your unique path to success. 7. Celebrating your failures. Have you ever faced a tough moment, maybe a failed project, a missed opportunity, or a setback, and noticed how certain people react? You expect support, encouragement, or at least a kind word, but instead you're met with something chilling. Silence, or worse, a subtle smirk, a quick change of the topic, or a dismissive comment like, well, that was bound to happen. This is one of the most telling signs of jealousy, celebrating your failures. Jealous people might never openly rejoice when you stumble, but their body language, tone, and silence speak louder than words. They're not heartbroken over your struggle. Deep down, they're relieved. Why? Because your failures make them feel better about their insecurities. Let's break it down. When you succeed, it's a spotlight on what they haven't achieved. But when you stumble, the tables turn. Your challenges give them a fleeting sense of superiority, a break from the comparison game they feel trapped in. They think, finally, they're not perfect. Finally, they're not ahead of me. And that quiet satisfaction shows in how they react or don't react when things go wrong for you. Imagine this scenario. You've been working tirelessly on a business idea, but the launch doesn't go as planned. Instead of offering encouragement or brainstorming ways to improve, someone says, "Maybe you aimed too high. Not everyone's cut out for that." Or you lose out on a big promotion and they respond with, "Well, I heard the competition was tough. It happens." Their words might sound neutral, but the undertone is clear. They're secretly pleased that you didn't succeed. Now, it's not always in what they say. Sometimes it's what they don't say. Pay attention to the silence when you share bad news. True friends and supporters rush in with words of comfort or solutions to help you bounce back. Jealous people, on the other hand, they withdraw, avoiding the topic entirely because they're silently enjoying the moment. Here's why this behavior is so damaging. Failures are already tough to navigate. They're moments when you're vulnerable and need support the most. Having someone subtly celebrate your struggles or fail to stand by you adds an extra layer of pain and betrayal. It can make you question your circle, your worth, and even your ability to overcome challenges. But let me tell you something important. Your failures do not define you. Every stumble is a step toward growth. And here's the kicker. Your ability to rise from failure is what truly sets you apart. While they're busy quietly celebrating your setbacks, you're busy learning, adapting, and preparing for your next move. Here's how to deal with this toxic behavior. Pay attention to patterns. Take note of who disappears when you struggle and who sticks around. True allies don't run away in tough times. They stand by your side. Confront the negativity. If someone's lack of support or passive-aggressive remarks become too much, don't be afraid to call it out. Sometimes simply pointing out the behavior is enough to make them rethink their actions. Use it as fuel. Instead of letting their quiet joy over your failures drag you down, let it motivate you to come back stronger. There's nothing more satisfying than proving your doubters wrong. And here's the most important thing to remember. Their reaction to your failure says everything about them and nothing about you. Jealous people celebrate your struggles because it's the only way they can feel better about themselves. But their small-minded satisfaction is temporary. Your growth, your resilience, and your eventual success, that's permanent. So the next time you stumble and notice someone smirking in the background or staying suspiciously quiet, remind yourself of this. Your setbacks are setups for a stronger comeback. While they're busy celebrating your temporary fall, you're already preparing to rise higher than ever before. Let them watch and let them learn. As we conclude, jealousy is a hidden battle fought behind smiles and handshakes. Recognizing these signs is your first step to protecting your energy and distancing yourself from people who don't have your best interests at heart. Remember, their jealousy isn't about you. It's a reflection of their insecurities. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're here to help you navigate life's toughest challenges with clarity and confidence. Stay strong, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one.